Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. So in War of the Visions Global, we have the first banner, two units in there, the UR Frederika, the MR Shadowlynx, and then the Esper Shiva. And I'm going to see if I can cram all three reviews into one video. But first, let's look at Frederika, and I really like her. She's among my most used characters in the entire game. And I think if we look at her JP points, yeah, 50,000, so that goes to show you how much I use her. Main job Gunner, that is good for ranged attacks. Sub job Ninja gives her mostly good movement stuff. And then also sub job Hunter. This is also good ranged attacks. And then let's look at her Trustmaster. This is an accessory, but very high HP for an accessory, so that's nice. And then accuracy 12, critical 12, so good for her, good for hunters, good for dragoons even, so yeah, nice Trustmaster. And then active ability, this is nice. It is a buff you can put on herself or on a teammate for 3 turns, and it will negate don't move, don't act, or stop on those characters. This is a super niche skill, so you're not going to need this a lot. But it only costs 18 TP, so you can cast it, just to fill your AP gauge, and then you can also use it 2 times per battle. Most of the Trustmasters, their abilities you can only use once per battle. This is twice though, so that's kind of nice. Okay, next let's look at her abilities. So main job Gunner, she has Blackout. This will do some damage and then also maybe blind the character. Low AP cost and then 5 uses per battle. Pretty wide range. I use this sometimes. As you can see, I haven't leveled it up. It's not one of my more favorite ones to use. Next, this is a self buff for herself and also people around her. This will raise projectile damage and then also increase the range by 1. So you want to pair her with other hunters or gunners. She's a good support character for them. Next is arm aim. This will do good damage and then maybe cast Don't Act on them. So enemies will still be able to move but not attack or use items or whatever. And then AP 28s, that's kind of an expensive skill, but good damage here. And then this one here, this might be the attack that I use the most. I don't know what you say in English, but it is also a ranged attack, not as high damage as maybe the arm aim, but it will maybe push back the character that you hit, and then you can use it 5 times per battle, 20 AP, so a little bit more affordable there. The moving back, it can increase the distance between you and the target, so that target has less chance to attack you. Once in a while, I will knock somebody back into a crystal and then they'll heal. That's pretty annoying, but it doesn't happen too much. And then in this game, I don't think there's damage if you fall from an elevation. I haven't seen it yet, but yeah, I don't think it's in here. Okay, and then last is the closest thing that Frederika has to a chaining ability, but this is the 2-hit shot. It has kind of a shorter range and a smaller kind of area of effect. Here, yeah, there's like an area of 3. This one's only 2, so not as usable. Although it does have a little bit of elevation, unlike this one here. But this is a good chaining skill. If you have other gunners, you can use that with them. Okay, then let's look at the sub-job Gunner. Sidewinder, this one's pretty good. This will hit everything in its path, so if you have 3 guys by some miracle that are just standing in a line, you can hit them all. And then you also get Beast Slayers, so like wolves and stuff will take extra damage. This one's pretty good. And then 2 elevation differences, so a little bit more versatile there. And then here is leg aim, again, small damage, and then maybe a don't move effect on them. Also pretty cheap. I think that's cheaper than arm aim, so I do use this more often. And then last, here's another self buff. This can raise the critical rate of herself and then people around her. This is good for Lancers, I think. Assassins too, probably, so yeah. Okay, next let's look at her ninja sub-job skills. As you can see, I haven't leveled any of these because I never used the ninja subjob. But she's got the usual suspects: Hide, Shuriken, Poison Cloud. She has the lightning element attack. It's not magic, and then it doesn't have any kind of property, so it won't chain. But yeah, if a character is weak to lightning, you can use that. Here's another self buff. This will raise accuracy, and it will guarantee a critical hit on the next turn, so that's cool. And then this one increased the evade. This might be the best thing about the ninja sub-skill here, is that evade. Although with Frederika, her range can get so long, just her attacks, that she'll stay far away from the enemies anyway, so she doesn't really get attacked too much, I've found. And last is Hunter. I like this subjob, but I also don't use it. But a lot of people that I see in arena or guild battles, they'll use Hunter. Kind of the big difference between Hunter and Gunner. Hunter skills, they take some time to charge up and then fire. So charge, here we see a charge up time. Same for high charge. And then another difference is that Hunters, they can shoot over friendly enemies. But Gunners, they can only shoot straight ahead. So if there's one of your teammates in the way, you're going to hit your teammate. But charge, small damage, high charge, medium damage. Here is a self buff, increase the evade, but lower their own elemental and then attack type resistances. I don't know if that trade-off is worth it. Here's sort of another medium range attack. May poison the enemy. And then Nenaiuchi, this might be the best hunter attack. But it is kind of that medium range that we see. And then Hichu, that means aim. So this will hit 100% of the time, even if the other character has a lot of evade. So really good, and good damage. Use 4 times per battle, and 19 AP, so not too expensive. And then a elevation of 5. So you can have a character up to 5 elevations different from you. That's another difference between Hunter and Gunner. Gunners don't have a lot of elevation to their skills. And Samidare Uchi, I think this is her best skill, but I've never used it before. But as you can see, it has that medium range and then a very large area of effect around it, and then good damage. Good elevation as well. However, it costs a lot of AP, so you're going to have to use a lot of TP skills before you can use this. Okay, next we have support abilities. This is a Hunter support ability, range +1 and then accuracy up. That is great. And then here's a Gunner support ability. This is range +2 and then evade down. So if you add the +1 from the Hunter ability and then the +2 from the Gunner ability, then her attacks get a range of 7, which is insane. In some maps that'll just reach all the way across the screen. So yeah, that makes her very defensive because she can stay away from enemies. And then also, she doesn't need to move as far to hit enemies. So that makes her a great farmer, just for like everyday stuff. Other support abilities, projectile damage up, move and jump +1, ninja skill. Yeah, again, the ninja passives are probably better than the actions. Here's another ninja skill, speed up, luck up. And then a hunter skill. This will decrease the amount of time it takes to shoot the charge up skills. So that could be okay, but I don't know if it's really worth it. But it will raise her projectile damage, so you can double up on the projectile damage. That could be cool. And then reaction abilities. She has Mikiri. I don't know what you say that in English, but this is probably the best reaction skill in the game. But this allows you to evade enemy attacks, and it goes off a lot. Maybe like half a dozen times in some of the longer battles. It's almost cheap how good this skill is, but yeah, that alone makes all hunters really, really good. And then other reaction skills. She has a counter shot. If she's hit by somebody within this range, she can maybe hit them back. Although a lot of the enemies, they don't have like physical ranged attacks. They either have close range physical or long range magical. So that reaction skill is not going to go off too often. And then here, this is a counterattack that gives poison to the enemy. Okay, and then Limit Break. This is a big damage, and then also lowers the CT gauge, so makes them act slower. And then Master Ability, if you get her to level 40, is projectile damage up 15, so that's perfect for her. Okay, in a nutshell, would I recommend Frederika? I'm going to say no. It kind of breaks my heart because I love her and I use her, but I kind of feel like I would enjoy using Ryu just as much. He's the MR gunner character, and so he would also be great for farming the easy quests, just kind of keeping back and hitting people from far away and then taking them down, and then speeding up my runs. There hasn't been any high difficulty content where Frederika is necessary. But of course, we might see a raid or a guild battle where it will emphasize lightning and projectile attacks, and then she'll be great, of course. But up to now, she's more great for kind of medium to low level content. So no rush, I would say, on Frederika. But if you want to go for her, yeah, go for her, get her shards, use her a ton. She's great. Okay, next, let's look at Shadowlynx, and she might be the real prize of this hatcher. The reason I say that is because there should be the Final Fantasy XIV raid coming, and then Shadowlynx will be really good in there. She'll be especially good for people that don't have Stern, don't have Jiza, and don't want to level up Nide Dudida. But yeah, Shadowlynx, she can do the dark element slash damage, good for the raid. But just like Stern, she'll be good for kind of everyday farming as well, because of the shuriken from the ninja skill. And then Shadowlynx has some of the best evade in the game. And so later, once Kiton comes out, you're going to see a lot of evade teams with Shadowlynx and Kiton, and then one other, like maybe samurai character. But yeah, that'll be a very kind of a funky but also powerful team. And yeah, I don't have Stern in global, so I want to get Shadowlynx, and then yeah, use her as kind of my everyday farmer, but maybe if I can pull Kiton in the future, I can use them together. But Shadowlynx, main job ninja, so she has a move 4, jump 3, so she's the most mobile character in the game. And then we can look at her ninja main skills. Most of the same things here, shuriken. This is a close range stop attack, that's pretty good. Here, this is a self buff that raises the evade. This also is going to be very helpful in the arena. And then here, this is another one of her best skills. This is a 3-hit skill. I think she's the first character in the game to get that 3-hit skill. So, if you're looking at all of those missions that ask you to do 2-hit element chains, Shadowlynx can do this all by herself, just using this skill. So that's another reason why I want her, just to clear all of those missions. Next, let's look at Ninja sub-job skills. These are not as great, so I would actually skip this. But she has that dark element attack, ranged, poison cloud, and then self-buff to, again, raise the accuracy and critical. I think you can skip this ninja sub-job. I have the samurai sub-job equipped on her. This is a Hien. This is a mid-range attack. It says damage small, but actually it's pretty good. You can use this many times. You could use it as an alternative to shuriken. Yeah, as we can see here, shuriken has no element. It's just a non-elemental slash attack. But Hien is dark element, so if you wanted to ride on chains, you could use this instead of shuriken. Self-buff to raise attack and critical, that's good. Self-buff to raise brave, that's also nice. Here's an area of effect attack, and it will blind guys. Here's another self-buff, which will raise evade. And then this will affect multiple characters around her. So in your evade team, you can just pack people around Shadowlynx, and then she can raise everybody's evade, make them very annoying in arena. And then this is a movement skill, so you can actually move, and then use this to move even a little bit further. I feel like the success rate is kind of low, so I wouldn't use this too often. Okay, and then the last sub-job, which might be her best source of damage, is Dragoon. But she gets jump, and then she gets the vertical jump. Vertical jump is very powerful, but as you can see, it has no elevation. So you can only hit characters on your same elevation as you, but very good range. That's as good as a shuriken, and then great damage. So yeah, if you do go into the Final Fantasy XIV raid, you probably want to use Hien if you want to chain, or if you want to finish chains, you can use this Horizon Jump, Suihei Jump. This one's very powerful. Self-buff for move and jump, Brave Break, and a self-buff to raise attack. So yeah, Shadowlynx has some options for how to use her. She's pretty fun, and I look forward to using her in Global. Okay, support abilities. So raise attack and evade, lower defense, that's fine. Speed and luck up, that's fine. Jump +1, that could be useful. Give her a move 4, jump 4, make her even more mobile. HP up, her HP is low, but I would just rely on her evade instead. And then here, move and jump +1, so yeah, you could make her super crazy mobile if you like. Okay, reaction skill, this is if she takes damage, evade will go up even more. And then a counter attack, and then a counter poison. So yeah, I think the evade one is better. And then her being an MR, she does not have a limit break. And then master ability at level 40 is attack up 25. That's really good for an MR. And also evade up 15. So yeah, she is custom built for what she is meant to do. I'm not going to pull on the Hatcher for these two characters, but I went ahead and I got the shards for Shadowlynx. Just because I have a very good chance of pulling her sometime in the future, and I really want her. Okay, finally, let's look at Shiva, my favorite Esper. But if you equip her in the Esper board, she will give you wind resistance up 10, fire resistance down 10, so be aware of that. And then let's look at her ability board. Even if you max this character, you can't unlock all of these, so you got to pick and choose. And then you can reset it if you want to use it for a different purpose. But here she has fire resistance, magic up, wind slayer, bird slayer, pierce resistance up. Yeah. None of this stuff you really need. I would do the magic up, this one down here. But later on, if there's like a guild battle or arena where Pierce characters like Lancers or Dragoons will get bonuses, you can unlock this Pierce resistance up and then put that on your tank. That would be useful. Or if fire characters get a boost, you can get the fire resistance up, put that on your tank. Or yeah, if you're fighting a boss that is wind element or bird, or ideally if it's both, you can unlock those two. Okay, and then Shiva as a vision card. The personal ability, she'll give you ice resistance up. That could be good for people with like ice weaknesses. Or if you know your tank is going to go up against Mediana or something. And then the party ability is evade up. And again, that could be really good for your evade team with Kiton and Shadowlynx. Okay, so that is a look at the banner. Both of the characters are really good. I'm going to say short term, maybe long term as well, Shadowlynx is the better pull. But Frederika, a lot of fun, very useful. So yeah, I can recommend to pull on the banner. Alright, thanks for watching and we'll see you again. Take care.